Just take a nice breath in. Exhale that breath. Just allow yourself now to relax more and more. Because from this moment in time, there's nothing of importance for you to do except relax. Relax.
Hello, humans. Welcome to Scarlett Show Season 4, Episode 8. I'm your host, Scarlett Santa Maria, providing a space for self-expression for electronic music artists. So let me tell y'all about what happened last Friday. As many as you know, my homie DJ MTK and I are collaborating on a podcast called EDM Unplugged, and we got to interview the Australian house music producer called Dom Dola. And he's honestly such a chill and down-to-earth guy. We were vibing in the studio, and then later that day, we went to check out his set at the Hard Rock rooftop. And of course, the music was bomb, and we had a fantastic time. And actually, his manager was really nice too. So it was overall a pleasant experience. So check out the interview on soundcloud.com/EDM_podcast. And let me know what you think. And that was a very short intro because I didn't go out. I was just working at Rich's. And if you saw my demon outfit, then you were one of the few lucky ones. And now it's time to introduce my guest of the night. And her name is Leela Lebashti.
That's right.
Yeah, welcome to the show. I'm like, I don't want to mess it up because people always mess up my name, and I'm like, no.
Oh, it's all good. You said it right.
Yeah.
So it sounds good.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Just get it closer to the mic.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So how are you feeling tonight? How was last weekend for you? Did you do anything Halloween-y?
Yeah, I actually I played for Horrorgasm, which is an event in North Park, which is really fun. I dressed up as Leela, Futurama Leela, so it's like my name, but the cartoon in reality, which was cool.
That's really fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I had a good time last weekend.
Cool.
And,
so I know there are a few topics that you specifically wanted to talk about. And I just want to say that you've been the first one that has taken the initiative to like present your thoughts and the way you want the show to be structured. Yeah. So I really appreciate that because you're taking advantage of the space and maximizing your time, right? So I'd like to begin with how you started your DJing journey. Like, what was your very first gig?
Yeah, so to start, I would say my first show was with, it was actually in the desert, at a Desert Renegade, and it was for the Dangle Zone. And then before that, I've just been collecting music since like 2000, since college, honestly. And I started buying it 2013. I went to a festival called SXM, and that one was really cool. It was in the Caribbean. It was the first one they ever threw, and there was a lot of girl DJs there playing. And I was like, man, I got to do this. I got to start doing this. So I came back, and I bought my own equipment. And then I just started practicing, and I felt comfortable enough this year and a little bit of last year to start performing. So, yeah, I performed at a Desert Renegade, and it was really cool. I mean, it's nothing like it. You're under the stars with all your friends, and I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere. So
I've never experienced anything like that, actually.
Yeah, you should definitely go. It's really cool. We'll go.
Yeah, well, you have to take me.
Okay, I'll take you.
So what are the steps that you had to take to get to where you are now?
So kind of tying into what I was mentioning before is collecting music initially. So like for those of you that want to learn, that want to start DJing or, start somewhere. This is my process. So to help you, I just started buying songs on Beatport and Bandcamp, and I bought the AIFF file, which is like a better version of the file. And then you just start collecting that music. Eventually, you can buy your own equipment. You can start on like a DDJ SX2 or something, cheaper, so you have somewhere to start. And even before that, you can do that free app, the Virtual DJ, which is a good place to. DJing, yeah, like I started there. I mean, we all have to start somewhere. So that's what I did, and then eventually you can buy your own equipment. You can pay it off monthly, and then eventually pay it off, and then you're just gonna start buying more stuff and more stuff, and then
you just never stop buying things because technology keeps improving, so you have to keep up.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, now there's like live stuff, like I want to get a drum machine. I have CDJs, but I want to start doing live stuff so I can start practicing and feeling
That's
comfortable
dope.
doing it, performing for Nocturne, which I'm a resident for them. But yeah, that's how I started. And
That's really cool.
yeah, I mean, if I feel like people always want to know, like, how do you start? What do you
Yeah,
do? It
of
seems
course.
so overwhelming to get to a place of performing. But if you just focus on the little steps, then you can get to kind of like where,
Yeah, it takes some time.
yeah,
You know, you're not gonna become like a big time DJ in one day,
yeah,
or even just like a highly skilled DJ, because like learning all the skills takes time and practice.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And I would say too, for finding music, what I do is I always base it off what I'm feeling. So if I feel really good, if it's something I'll play in my car all the time, that's something I'm gonna play when I DJ.
That's what I want to play. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So
do it
I know
like that.
you've mentioned to me before that you don't want to box yourself as just like a techno DJ or house DJ. Like, what is your brand exactly then?
I would say diverse. So, or anything that I want. That sounds good because I think it's more important about curating a special moment between the people around you. That's there versus following a certain genre. Because let's say you want to play like breaks, which is something I've been doing a lot lately. Yeah, those are good, and you can mix it with techno, and it's really good. And a genre shouldn't stop you from expressing your creativity. So I would say to define myself, I guess I don't have a definition. Just don't put me in a box, I guess.
Yeah. Don't put anyone in a box.
Yeah.
So how have you progressed from the first time you stepped behind the decks? Like, what are some of the changes you've seen in yourself?
I've definitely, I mean, as far as a woman taking a space in more of a male dominated area, I feel like I was a little shy initially and just kind of nervous to put myself out there because I just the difference and the gap and the energies are different. And so now I feel more confident, and I also feel like I'm finding my sound like way better and I'm more because I've just been performing, putting myself out there. So I feel like my level of confidence comes from just doing. So
Just getting out there,
Yeah.
getting exposed to it.
yeah, oh yeah.
Do you still get nervous?
Yeah, I still get nervous. I get nervous every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. Every time before a show, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But it only means that it still excites you and you just want to keep working on it.
It just means you care a lot. So
Yeah, of course.
and you want it to go well.
So can you share one of your funniest or craziest experience of preparing for your sets?
Yeah, so yeah, I have one or I have a few, but one I'm gonna mention is it was my second show. It was my first show for Nocturne. This was before I was gonna become a resident there. And I was like so nervous because I was really into techno at that time and I wanted my set to be perfect and just go really well, you know, because it's your first show and that's natural. And before the show, I had someone tell me like 7 p.m., like right before the show, they told me that all my music was bad and that I should switch things up and play like what they recommend I should play. And that was like so nerve wracking for me, but it's things that happen. It's normal. Like it's not a perfect world. So like that was like one situation where, you know, you're going to go through obstacles, but like as long as you push through it and like that show was like one of the best shows I've ever had. And it was the one that got me like to be a resident for Nocturne. And they asked me after that show to be one. So
That's awesome.
yeah, just like hold your ground and
Are you a bit of a perfectionist?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see it
I
because
am.
I'm the same way. Like you, I like it to be structured. I like things to go a certain way, and I like it to be perfect. But it can be nerve wracking sometimes. Like,
Oh, yeah. When you try and control everything.
yeah,
but you
I
can't.
know. I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it, girl. So
Yeah, thanks.
I noticed that sometimes you go by Lilu or you use your full name. Is there a reason why you change between them?
Yeah, so Lilu's my DJ name, but that's my mom's nickname for me. So that's my initial DJ name because it's like she's always with me. And I tell her that joke and she's like, I don't get it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll just be my joke with myself. It's kind of funny. But yeah, she calls me that. So I just kind of stuck with me because it's special and I want those moments to be special when I DJ. But now I'm doing more like techno shows and I feel like it's kind of like I have two aliases. Like I have different versions of myself.
Okay.
So my full name is more of like my darker side of DJing versus
Okay.
like Lilu's more of like my disco,
Like more
deep house,
funky,
minimal
fun.
funky, yeah, like
Nice.
upbeat.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say that's why I have both.
That's
know.
cool. So
Yeah.
what can we expect in the first half of the mix?
So the first half, the mix is called Inside Voices because it's not normally what I play. but for the first half, you'll hear more of like disco initially, and then kind of more heavier like beats, a little bit of break beats, a little bit of French house music.
Ooh, wonderful.
Like super confident, like flowy music that just makes you feel good, and
It's exciting.
that's the vibe I wanted to have here with you. So that's what I put together in the mix.
Awesome. I think I'm excited. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear this mix. And we'll return in 10 minutes to continue the interview. And if you're watching the live stream, I'm happy for you because I'm wearing some horns. She's wearing cat ears. I almost forget it's Halloween because I feel like it happened already this weekend.
I know, right?
It's like, it's been Halloween for a week, okay? Well,
It's still Halloween.
Yeah, let's just keep celebrating.
Yeah.
And you're listening to KCR College Radio, the award-winning sound of state. Hey, what's up, people? Yo. Yeah, I was loving the French music for sure. It takes me back. I was just in France this summer, so it's nice when you go to a foreign country and you hear everyone speaking that language and you're just like, I don't know what's going on. I love it.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know what's going on in French.
Yeah.
I know Farsi, but I don't know.
I don't know what's going on, but it's pretty great. All right, welcome back, everyone. Before the interview, I have to make some announcements as usual. Are you a fan of podcasts? Make sure to tune in on KCR On Demand, the newest platform of entertainment from your radio hosts here at SDSU. Find us on Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud at KCR College Radio. Also, no plans this weekend? Check out the House of Blues in downtown San Diego for some amazing concerts in one beautiful venue. So make sure to check out our giveaways on kcrlive.com for a chance to win tickets to concerts throughout the semester, and stop by Music at the Mesa from 12 to 1 on Thursdays for more giveaway opportunities. Lastly, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors from Techniche. They host a tech house and techno event at Riches on your first Saturday at Spin at Riches, and then at Spin every third Saturday. And for more information, visit their website, technichesd.com. And if you want me to announce your events, I'm always looking for more sponsors, so reach out to me on your socials and let me see what you got. And I'm back with Leela, and I'd like to know more about your experience of taking space as a woman in a male-dominated industry.
Yeah, so it's at first kind of like it's tough, I would say, because you have to
Prove yourself?
Yeah, in a way. I mean, people are looking at you while you're DJing, like, oh, is she gonna mess up? Or, and it kind of puts this pressure on you and stops the creativity flow because you feel this other energy coming in, like watching you, and it kind
They're
of
just waiting for you to mess up and like, oh yeah, because she's a girl.
yeah, and it's nerve wracking. And like the situation that happened to me before with that person that told me that my music was bad and that I should not play that was like a guy, and then like a lot of guys were watching me. It was just like a lot of pressure, but I think once you get past that though, and you just are kind to everyone, you're just nice and you stand your ground, like you have something, if you feel honestly you have something to offer people and you have something that can make others happy, then that's enough for you to stand your ground and like just, be a good DJ and perform and like have a space there and feel like you have a space there just as much as like others.
Yeah.
Guy or girl, whatever. And so, so I would say, taking space as a girl DJ. I mean, if you're a new girl DJ and you really want to continue, I would say keep going. Just you'll get, up more and more. People will hear your sound, and that's what it's really all about.
Yeah, and don't even let that define you. I myself, I'm proud of being a woman, right? But I don't let that be like something that stops me or like makes me feel victimized because I'm not a man, so
Yeah.
it's also a part of just like getting out of those mental blocks and being like, I am just a human and I'm gonna
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, we're all humans. I mean, it is apparent that, like, there's certain programming that male and females have, and that's how certain things happen where there's a separation between male and female. But, like, yeah, I feel like if we all just see each other as humans, then we can value each other's opinions not based on gender or looks or whatever,
Yeah,
based
and
on
speaking of
their
that,
mind.
you talked to me about emotional intelligence. How have you applied that in your interactions in the industry?
So yeah, I think it's really important to. I mean, I read books on it a lot.
Me too.
So
I'm a big fan.
yeah, just understanding the human mind and how to maneuver around certain personalities is something that takes time in reading and education, and like that's definitely something I apply. Like if let's say I want to play at a certain time or whatever, which I know I'm not like that. But let's just for example's sake, like if I want to play at a certain time versus someone else that wants to play and that person's been there a lot longer than I have and whatever, but maybe I have something to offer that's better for that moment. And you're kind of going up against somebody that has more grounds than you. But if you have like an emotional intelligence to really communicate with them in a way of like, hey, this is something that I could offer and here's why, and you build a relationship with them, then maybe you can get what you want as far as like, having that moment.
It's all about like understanding the other person's like point of view, and then have them understand yours too, like empathy.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So doesn't matter per human. Yeah, every human. Like I feel like that's like a universal thing.
And you also said that kindness helped you achieve a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I think not losing your temper, just being nice to people, saying please and thank you, and like just exerting that type of energy like makes people want you to play more, be around more. So like I'm saying for like other DJs that are new, if you come off in that way, like you will be able to move up in like your DJ progression. So
and you just have to be genuine.
It's important. Yeah, I mean,
and
no
like
one
be
likes
genuinely
to
nice too. Don't be like fake nice and like try to manipulate people. Like you have to. And honestly, like I've gotten better with my intuition and feeling who's being real and who's not. And if you're not being real, like we will sense it. I'm an empath, so I like feel a lot of people's energies a lot. Yeah. So if you're coming to me and I sense that you're not being real, like I'm not gonna give you my time of the day.
Yeah, like there's a difference between being nice, I feel like, which is like being nice to get what you want, or like being nice because you want to be
you're
nice,
decent human,
and you just want to contribute to the community in that way, which will get you far if you genuinely are that kind of person. I mean, for me, it has. So that's my recommendation to other people that want to have a place.
How has it helped you personally? Like, can you give an example?
I mean, I feel like as a perfectionist, I have an opinion on a lot of different things. And sometimes an opinion can be off-putting if you don't say it right, you know? So, like, let's say for Nocturne, for example, like, sometimes we collaborate a lot. And, like, Will, who, like, basically is kind of like the head, Will and David, like, they really listen to a lot of the things I say because I say it in a nice way. Or, I don't try and, like, I don't lead with ego. I guess that's
a good way to put it.
Yeah, I don't lead with my ego. So I really keep their feelings and emotions into consideration when I do express something that might be, just my opinion on it.
I love it.
Yeah.
We should all learn more about emotional intelligence. I think it's kind of underrated. People don't really talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's so important to not lead with your ego. And I feel like a lot of people do. And they don't even realize it. It's not their fault if you don't realize something. But that's why I want to come on this show and say, like, maybe put it out there and be like, hey, maybe you're speaking in ego and you're not like that naturally. But you're just doing that because it's this. You've never reflected on yourself to figure out why you're doing these things or why you're acting this way. And maybe change that for the better of the community and those around you, especially if you have like a leadership role in the scene. Like, you shouldn't lead with ego. And I see there's a few people that I feel like do, and I want to change that. Like, I don't want that. Like, and I try and embody that.
Yeah, and I think that it's important to bring this up because not a lot of people have the guts to like come up to, whatever person and be like, hey, you're doing this wrong, or maybe you should change your attitude or something like that. So this could be like, whoever is going through something like that, like this could be the space. Like if you can learn something from this, is to be more kind, be nice to people. Yeah. Learn how to manage your emotions and like
be accountable for your emotions.
Yes.
Yeah, don't project it on other people, because then they project it on maybe someone like me, and I have to be like, hey,
Yeah, of
don't
course.
do that to me, and then it's confrontational, and then my inner self's like, no, but then my outer self's like, no, you have to like, stand your ground on this.
Yeah, I think also because you get what you project. If you're
Yeah.
you're putting out drama, bad vibes, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it back.
Yeah, for sure.
I know, but it
I
can
try
be,
not
it can
to,
be hard
you know.
sometimes. I try to be as empathetic as possible and be like, okay, maybe this person's having a bad day or whatever it
Me
is,
too.
but
Sometimes enough is enough.
yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
no,
There
not
comes
doing
a
that.
point where you have to stand your ground. So, or be
Yeah.
the teacher and tell them, you know what, this is not okay.
Yeah.
And
I mean, yeah, and yeah. So I read books on it.
read books. Yes.
Read books.
So I'd like to know your opinion about the dynamic between the different perspectives of veteran DJs believing that you have to earn their respect and younger DJs believing that respect is given unless proven otherwise.
Yeah, so that's something that I've noticed in the scene is a prevalent topic, which is, younger DJs think respect is given unless proven otherwise, versus older DJs feel like respect is earned. And, you have to respect both sides because they both come from different experiences. So, you have to be mindful of that. For me, I mean, if I had to pick one, I would definitely say the younger side is more what I believe in as well, as one of my values, because without someone that already is giving me respect, giving me a chance, then I wouldn't have had the opportunities I've had. I wouldn't have been able to curate cool moments with the audience. I would have maybe, played a song that put a smile on like a bunch of people's faces because that person gave me a chance because they felt respect is given instead of earned. And, I feel like the respect is earned instead of given, like the older mentality of it is kind of, I would say, more an ego. Too.
Yes.
It's an ego.
It is an ego thing.
But you have to
because
be
you think
respectful.
they think they're better because they have more experience and they're not humble.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think respect should be given and,
to whoever it is, no matter what their age is.
I don't need to prove anything to anybody. And if I feel like I need to, then I'm not in a secure space for myself. And why would I want to be in an environment where I don't feel secure, where I feel like someone has power over me? And that's why I don't agree with that mentality. But I do understand it is one. So the best way you can do to maybe change someone's mind that feels that way is to build a relationship with that person. Outside of that, see what other great qualities they have. There's a bunch of people that have that mindset that are great people outside of that. And then, when the time is right, when they're not on defense, when they're not like feeling combated, like they're wrong, then maybe, say, hey, this is kind of my side of how I think. And what do you think about that? Do you think this is fair too? And maybe they might say, I could see how respect is given instead of earned. So you can rewire like what they think based on being kind.
Yeah, exactly. Using the emotional intelligence that we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's kind of understanding both sides. And like you said, I actually have heard of that dynamic and that issue. So.
And it's caused like barriers between people, and it makes me sad. And like I don't want a divide. I want more people in the scene to come together, and that's why I want to talk about that ego thing, because I feel like it does create this divide. Anything an ego I feel like creates is the root of any sort of divide in the scene. And if someone can prove me wrong on that, I bet you money on it. But
no, it is. You're right. It's the competitiveness, the sourness, everything
it
that
doesn't need to be like
all the
that.
negativity,
Yeah,
people that are holding on to something that they need to let go of,
or going themselves and evaluate. Go to the desert and like
go to the desert.
think about your
explore.
feelings.
Do some shrooms.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think it's important too. Like another part of me, I would say I'm very much an extrovert. We all have a little bit extrovert, introvert, right? And I come off super extrovert. Everyone thinks, yeah. But honestly, if you take some time to yourself, you kind of. If you're constantly an extrovert and hanging out with a bunch of people, then you lose your energy. You lose who you are.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
I love my alone time. Like I can go on a trip by myself. I can just go to movies and have dinner by myself.
Yeah.
It's just so therapeutic. Yeah.
And I didn't. At one point, I was DJing pretty often because I was like getting shows. It comes in waves. So I have one wave where there's a lot of shows coming up, and I'm hanging out around people a lot, absorbing energies
Oh
a
my
lot,
God.
and I'm an impulsive person too, which is not good. So, but yeah, I mean, I do love living in the moment. But at
Me
one
too.
point, I almost like lost myself in that. I was like, who am I? Like, what am I doing? Like, what's going on? So I like went on a hiatus, and I like hung out with myself, and I was just like rekindled like who I am on the inside. And I think maybe people that are in ego all the time need to spend that, not fear, like spending that one-on-one time with themselves, because
Yeah.
it
No,
might help.
a lot of people feel uncomfortable being by themselves or doing things by themselves. And actually, like, that's one of my biggest things because I'm an only child. So I've always experienced just like being on my own. Like, I'm like fiercely independent. But I also like hanging out with people, but that takes a lot of energy. And also work in a club and I'm talking all
Oh yeah,
night. And then sometimes when I have my nights off and I want to go out, like I just want to dance and like people come up to me and like I don't want to be rude and it's like constantly giving energy and I'm an active listener, so I don't want to just someone's talking to me and I'm like yeah whatever, like I want to actually like give them my full attention, so that takes a lot of energy,
sure. Yeah,
right?
I mean, I would even say too in that moment, you just be honest with them and say like, I'm really feeling the music right
Oh
now.
yeah, I'm pretty much
You
like
know,
yeah,
okay, yeah,
yeah.
you know
I
that.
know, yeah. We know how to handle that stuff.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Only when I step outside and I'm like, okay, I'll socialize a bit, and I'm like, all right, back to the movies.
Yeah,
Back to movie.
I always see you in the front when I see you out. Like you're right front and center, like dancing, and like I'm
I
wondering where you are. I know where you are, and it's so cool.
yeah, I just get in the zone because that's my therapy in a way too.
Yeah,
Because like I am around in this, like I work in a club, so I just see people having fun all the time, and I
really.
have fun too, but it's not the same where you're just like letting loose and like dancing. So.
Yeah, because you're still working at the same.
Yeah, so it's nice when I have a night off. I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
gotta move.
yeah.
Okay, so now I would like to know about your affiliation with Nocturne. What is your role like, and how did you start getting involved with them?
Yeah, so I love Nocturne. I love the guys there. I'm the only girl for right now,
Yes,
but but
boss.
so yeah, I mean, I just started loving techno, and I was hanging out with them, and I was like, let me play at after parties. I was like, let me play, and so they kind of like saw that I have a little bit of like a edge or my own personal contribution to the music. They eventually gave me a show, and like they're like, you can play for us, and I was also like, let me play, because like you just gotta like there's a balance between both, so I became friends with them, and I was like, give me a shot, and they're like, okay. So then they gave me a shot, and it went really well. Like there was a lot of people there, everyone like going the music, and like Will could not stop talking about it, which is cool. And it was really special. So now I'm with them, and they're some of my best friends, honestly. Like I'm gonna shout out.
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Will is freaking awesome. I love him. He's so nice, and like he hears me out, and he understands me like as a person. Like when I get anxious, he doesn't take it personally. Like he's there for me, and he also has my back. Like when people when I'm not there. So when I'm not there, he's always saying good things, and I feel the same way about him. So it's a really good communication relationship.
Great.
And then David, David's great too. He told
He's
me
cool.
to talk about one of his best features, which is he sings in the choir.
What? I should have made him sing when he came
I
into
know.
the show.
Yeah, he can sing in different languages too, so you can ask him to sing.
Wow. Oh my god.
So next time. But he's really cool too. He's one of my best friends, and both of them as leaders, they really value what I have to say, and I came in there strong. I was like, here's all these things that I feel like we should do to revamp Nocturne. And
Yes.
so, I mean, sometimes people will be like, whoa, but right, you have to say it with finesse, and you have to say it in a nice way, because you're going to say a lot. But I have a lot on my mind, and it's all productive stuff. So
I
it's
feel
not
you.
to shoot the, as I can't say that word. But yeah, so right now for Nocturne, we all have separate roles. So like David does like bookings, Will does like networking, expanding, Dom and Ian does logo and design, and so does Leia. And then I do like finances or like structured finances, like recording, things like that. And then social media and promoting ideas and things like that. And being a resident DJing. So And then we all like combine, and then also Dylan as well does the SoundCloud, and he does booking his shows with David. So we all kind of combine together to help each other, but we all at the end of the day have our roles, I guess, per se, so that we can deviate or differentiate the responsibility between disperse the responsibility between one another.
That's really cool. It's great to know that you feel supported and appreciated, especially being like a strong woman that you are. So that's exciting. I'm so happy for you that it's worked out.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
They just like me for who I am, and it just means a lot. And that's what this community is about. You know, like we go out there, do our full-time job and hustle, and we want to come here and enjoy ourselves and feel safe and at home and not feel drama or ego or all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like I come to this place to feel like that family, feel that community, feel that. So lucky that Nocturne gives me that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Warms my heart. So tell me about your experience with the Nocturne Girls Night takeover. I was there and
cool.
the vibes were through the roof. I loved it.
Cool. Yeah, so you know, David and Will are very supportive of, you know, my ideas. So like, you know, one of us was like, let's have a girls' night, you know, because, you know, girl DJs, I mean, not to constantly be like, girl DJs this, I'm not trying to victimize whatsoever. I'm just saying the reality of it is that the majority of lineups, if you look at it, are all guys.
All men, yeah.
You know, a majority of organizations that put it all together is all guys. Like, why do you think that the retention rate of women in the scene is so low? Like, women just come and go, come and go, come and go, because, you know, like, at the end of the day, they're not the ones organizing things, putting things together. So I want to change that. Like, I want it to be a more comfortable space for women in the audience and women DJs to not feel like you're around all these dudes and you can just, like, pound it with your girl and, like, you know, instead. So, yeah, I would say that's, like, a part of it. And
how do you think we can make more male and female collaborations happen?
I would say that's a good question. So, I mean, just women being comfortable taking space, kind of like what I'm doing is taking space and wanting to be a resident and wanting to put in that effort.
Yeah, I think it all starts from like the mind, because that's how I did it too. I kind of was like, you know what? Like, I don't care. I'm still gonna go for it. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. So I think some women should just go for it. And
they definitely should. I know some girls are too.
From failure, fear of not
being
embarrassed, but it's all part of the human. Like, it's all part of being human. Like, you might experience failure, embarrassment, like at any part of your life, but you gotta take a risk and try it out, and at least you can say you tried.
Yeah.
If it didn't work out, then. Or it could work out.
I mean, look, that night where Nocturne with the girl taking over,
that was dope. That was dope, yeah.
Everyone
was a really
was
good
so
turnout.
happy.
Yeah.
People came like later because it wasn't all girls that one time, but we're actually doing a show November 5th, this Tuesday, that is all girls. That one was like split up between guys and girls, which was great. And then this next one coming up is all girls, but that one, like, even half of it was girls. That energy in the room, like Luna killed it. She killed it.
She's such a sweetheart. She's so down to earth, and she's so talented.
She is.
She's so cool. I love her.
She was so perfect. And then me and Ciara went up there, and her and I were vibing, and everyone was vibing. And, like, just, you know, what I want when we are all together is everyone forgets about their problems. Everyone's there listening to music. Everyone's enjoying themselves. They don't need to go anywhere else, take a cigarette, whatever, to feel alleviated. Just enjoy it. Yeah.
I love it.
So that's...
Well, thank you for doing this for all of us.
Yeah.
So now I'd like to know, what are your thoughts on San Diego's electronic music community? And you can start with some positives and then something that needs improvement.
Wait, what was the question?
Your thoughts on San Diego's electronic music community.
Okay, so I would say we should have more of a girl presence. So I would say, I mean, it's great. To start, I think it's great. Like, there is a great scene and a great vibe and a community of people. And I feel like whenever I go out, I always see a familiar face where I could say hi and give them a hug. And that's awesome. My recommendation would be to balance that out, the gender out, with more girls DJing, more girls putting on organizations, more guys also being okay with that and like promoting that as well, and not
Yeah.
feeling like we're gonna compete with them or that it's this guy girl competition, because it's not. It's not. It's just balancing.
Collaboration. Yeah, balance it
Yeah,
out.
it's just balancing it out. That's all it is. And like, I mean, I wanted to do this thing that's just an idea, but I was gonna call it like book club sessions, and like it's just like a group of girls and guys if they want to come, but like we just all like hang out and like collaborate and just share ideas and just like
I
go to
love
my
it.
house
I
and
love
like
it.
yeah, and then we'll have like 001 and 002, and maybe we could do like a podcast. I don't know, but the first one I would love to do is just like all of us coming together and just talk, because I know there's a bunch of girls out there
Yeah,
that
I'm
want to.
down. Let's do it.
Okay, all right, cool.
Awesome. So thank you so much for your input. We're gonna go on the human experience section because we're running out of time, and I would like to know, what do you love about life?
What I love about life, I would say, I mean, everything. My brain just went whooshoo. Like, I mean, I love my family. That's the first thing that came to mind. I mean, just having my family here, and it's really easy to give. My brother's in New York. Give him a call. My mom's right here. So I love that about life. I love DJing. I love my career, where it's going. So those are all things. I love my health. That's
Yes,
the first one.
right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So how many of your friends would you trust with your life?
I would say there's a few. And I mean, yeah, I would say there's a few.
Oh, that's good.
There's like a handful, I would say, and I can definitely say there's a few that I would like. They can trust me with their life too. So
Beautiful.
yeah.
What do you think is the difference between settling for things and accepting the way things are?
I think settling for things is that's a tough question.
Yeah, we go deep here.
Okay, all right, I see you. Okay, so I would say settling for things is different, because when you're settling, you're kind of just succumbing to something that maybe you don't necessarily want. You didn't put in your whole effort. You didn't like really give it your all. Versus like having something that is, what was the other one?
Accepting?
Accepting it is like you really tried. You really tried to communicate as much as you could, and it's just, that's how it is for now, and just respecting that that's how it is for now.
No,
And
I
that's
agree.
something, I mean, yeah, even in Nocturne, like sometimes I have ideas and I want them to go through, and then sometimes they're like, no, this is how we're going to do things. I mean, they don't say it like that, but I'm like, okay, that's not like settling per se,
No,
but
you're like, okay, we can revisit this in the future, for
Yeah.
example. You're not giving up.
yeah,
You just like accept it, but then
it's
like
not a
move on.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, okay, well, the majority, it's logically thinking, like the majority thinks it should be this way. So it's accepting of
Okay.
something bigger than yourself.
Awesome. So if I could grant you one wish, what would you wish for?
I mean, I have everything right here.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You're grateful and you're happy with your life.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. How have you helped someone else recently?
How have I? I mean, I feel like I always try and help people on a constant basis. I help my cat Jack. He's the person I thought of, because actually, like, he was abandoned, and it was really sad. And so he's
Shout
like,
out to Jack.
shout out to Jack. I love Jack so much. I didn't ever want a cat. He pretty much adopted me, but I helped him out because my neighbors just like left and didn't take him with him.
Oh my God.
So now he's my cat.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So.
You'll have two cats also. One
Yeah.
of them is a rescue, and then one of them I've had him since he was a baby.
Aw, yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, and I'm allergic to cats too, so I have to take Zyrtec like
Oh.
every time I touch him, hang out with him. But he's so cute. You can't. He has like these chunky cheeks.
It's worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
All
it's so
right.
worth it.
So we're always short on time. I wish we had more time. So we're gonna just go for the Scarlet letter. You're gonna choose an envelope. You're gonna open it, and you're gonna answer the question.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. This is so cool.
Yeah, you can keep
I feel
it.
like I'm in, okay, cool. All right, let's see. If you could instill one piece of advice in a newborn baby's mind, what advice would you give? Don't lead with your ego. Be nice to others. Yeah, and you're perfect the way you are, so don't think otherwise.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, that was a great advice. Thank you so much for all your input and everything that you're bringing to the table and wanting to change the narrative in the scene. because we need that. We really do.
Thanks for your support. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And now we're about to play the rest of your mix, and we'll be back
Woohoo.
in a few more minutes. So don't go anywhere, people. Oh, yeah. Loving this mix. And I would like to know, do you have any upcoming events?
Yeah, so I have one for Nocturne, November 5th on a Tuesday. And Toka,
Next week.
yeah, Toka Hannes is playing. She's dope too. Shout out.
Yeah.
But she's playing and she's super awesome. It's an all girl techno event.
All girl, you.
Bring that energy in the Blonde Bar, which is like a dive bar, really cool dive bar. Like you feel homey and like you can just let yourself go in this like black like walls area, and like it's just like super divey, and there's just gonna be a bunch of girls playing and taking space.
Taking space. Take that space.
Taking space, owning the space.
Owning. So what does the future hold for Leela?
A lot. Well, I would say, more shows, but I'm going to spread out my shows a little bit more. I'm not going to play as often as I recently did because I want to be a little more sparse with my playing. Just because, I want it to still be special for me and then special for my audience, because if you constantly play, you kind of dilute your energy. So right now, I was kind of like, okay, I'm going to play a lot of shows because I'm just getting started building my crowd, like building the people that want to come see me. So I would say more shows to come, and they're going to be a little more few and far between. Okay. And then also,
Amazing.
Yeah.
Any last shout outs or anything else that you would like your fans to know?
I want to say a shout out to a couple collectives that I really appreciate that have given me great opportunities as well and have been good influences on me. Robert from Connect San Diego.
Hey, Rob.
I freaking love.
It's okay.
You're the best. Yeah. So I just got so excited.
It's okay. He's a homie.
Yeah, he's great. But yeah. So I would want to shout out to him. He's one of my best friends, and he's also given me a lot of chances and to play and express myself and really let me play like whatever I want, which is really cool. And then Umbrella Friends too, I want to shout out to them because they're a really great squad, and they also have a good male to female dynamic, and they're giving other girls chances, and so we appreciate that.
We appreciate it. We see you. Awesome. Well, thank you again for being here and for expressing yourself and for having your thoughts like all structured. Like really, that was so cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thanks to everyone that tuned in tonight and who's still watching the live stream. I appreciate y'all. And I'm going to upload everything on YouTube this weekend at Scarlett Letters Show's YouTube. And then you can also find me on Instagram and pretty much everywhere. Just search me. And I hope you guys have a good night. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, it is Halloween.
Yeah. Real.
Yeah, be safe. Don't get roofied.
Definitely not. Unless you want to.
Test your candy. All right, everyone. Be safe. Have a good night.